Hello everyone, and welcome to the 7th episode of my Super Woden GP2 lab testing series, where I drive every car in Super Woden GP2 so you don't have to. Today we will focus on the C-Class, the smallest car we've seen so far, containing every vehicle between 601 and 700 horsepower. For more details about the testing, I invite you to watch the introduction video as well as the result spreadsheets in the comment. And we're starting in 11th place with the Sup SX, which gets a 50 seconds flat. There's not much to say about it, except that it's very slow. I don't think there is any event where it would be useful. Next, in 10th place we have the Sup Auburn race car, which gets a 46.9. This car is already a bit better, but it's still a bit slow compared to the rest of the class. It's not the easiest vehicle to drive, it's a bit stiff, but it's not as bad as it could be, as bad as the SX. Next, in 9th place, another car that is not great, the Sup Flippet race car. I was a bit disappointed when I tested this car. This is just a very slow car. It doesn't have a lot of grip, and it's much slower than the other similar cars. Next, in 8th place we have the Raven Orange 6 Group 5, which gets a 46.3. So this car with this amount of upgrades is not eligible for the Group 5 championship, but it is here, it is eligible for a few things. And it is a bit stiff though. I don't recommend it, it's not the best car to drive. While the Sup Flippet race car was very light and lacking the grip, this one is very stiff, it's the opposite. Speaking of stiffness, in 7th place we have the Milan Axiom, which is a very heavy car. It doesn't turn at all, it gets a 45.5 seconds, and I really don't recommend this car. It's not great, it doesn't handle great, and to be honest, I don't recommend any of the cars behind as well. So yeah, the bottom 5 of this class is very meh. Next, in 6th place we have the Raven Core Moto, which gets a 44 seconds flat, and this is a pretty good car compared to what we've seen before, especially stock. In the stock ranking, this car is third. It's the third fastest stock car in the C-Class, but it doesn't have a lot of upgrades. It doesn't have any engine nor tire upgrades, so it's pretty limited by that, unfortunately. Also, the car is a bit stiff to drive, so be aware about that. Next, in 5th place, the Cinder Nova GT, which is a bit the same as the Cormoto in terms of upgrades. It is a pretty good car stock. It is the second best car in the class stock. Even first actually, because the fastest car stock in the leaderboard that we're gonna see here is actually in D class. You're gonna see that later. But yeah, this car suffers from a huge lack of upgrades. It only has one brakes upgrade. This car is, as opposed to the Kuromoto, very light, but yeah, it just lacks the upgrades, unfortunately. Next in 4th place we have the Soup SX GTR, so this one has an engine upgrade, so that's already better. This car gets a 43.5 and it's pretty okay. There's not much to say about it, it's quite average. Next in 3rd place we have the Soup Spartan, which is the one I was talking about that is in D class but has a better time stock in D class than the best stock car in C class, which is interesting. We've seen in the last video that it got a 43.8 in the D class and here it gets a 42.6. It's a pretty good car, it's pretty cheap as well, even fully upgraded, it's one of the cheapest vehicles for this class. So really a very good deal, a very good price quality ratio. I really recommend this car. Next, in 2nd place, we have the Nanwolf Dalton Evo, which gets a 42.2. This is a pretty good car. It's very balanced, it drives very well, and it's not that expensive. It's a bit more expensive than the Spartan, for example, but it's an alright car. It's a pretty good choice, in my opinion, so I would recommend this car as well. Not as much as the Spartan though, even though it's faster. And now in 1st place the Nanwolf Thunder, which gets a 41.5, and actually this could be even quicker. That lap isn't that great, but that is the lap I got in the testing. This car gets this time from an absurd amount of upgrades, which makes it very expensive to upgrade. It has 3 tires upgrade and 3 suspension upgrade. The upgraded price is over 200,000 credits, and with upgrade this car is 350,000 credits, so it's actually one of the most expensive cars in the game. If you have the money, it's worth it. It's the car that will give you all the world records. But stock is not great. It only gets a 44.9, pretty close to the bottom of the class. But it is the quickest car once you have all the upgrades. Also, I really recommend all the handling upgrades because this car is actually pretty stiff. It's a boat stock, so I really recommend to use the handling upgrades because they make this car much better to handle. And that's already it for this video. Yeah, that was much quicker. Yeah, since this is the smallest class, of course, this is gonna be a shorter video. The 3 next classes are gonna be combined into one video that combines every car in the 3 last classes, because B class is only 6 vehicles, A class is 3, and S class only contains 1 vehicle, so I'm gonna combine all of this into one class. There is 1 vehicle that you're gonna see twice, but yeah, that's how it is. I'm gonna do like all B class, then A class, and then S class, and all in one video, because I'm not gonna release some videos that are like 1 minute long. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this shorter episode. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like this kind of content, and I see you next time.